Have a go at this and see if this goes any better. Okay, well, that was that. We got to the end of it, so I might pop the cover open and just see how we're doing inside. So this is a Hardwood Mills Australia, which is, I think, just a Woodlands mill badged for Australia. Its claim to fame is that it does ironbark and that. Okay, she's riding back a little bit further than she was a minute ago. Okay, so we need to change that setting a little bit and bring that forward a little bit, that band's. Okay, yep. But we're through the cut now. We can decide what we're going to do. That's interesting, the difference. I was running it wet before and it gummed up with a lot of stuff in there around it, and then we lost the band 2 times. Lost the band 2 times at that. I had it tracked up pretty nice before. Now it's tracked back a little bit too far. But see, what's interesting is I wasn't having any of this stuff connecting to the blade and sticking to the blade, where without the water it's all caked all over the blade. So it's interesting. There are all sorts of things that you've got to decide, which they don't tell you when you're buying a mill. All the little bits and pieces that are involved in it when you actually end up running it and then trying to get it to, well, you might be able to see there, these doors and the frame is not very strongly connected, so it's giving a variance there when it's wobbling like this. It's not actually the wheel that's moving, it's actually the frame itself moving backwards and forwards, which is, doesn't matter about anything. It's not a problem. But yeah, so with using the water, you end up with more of the sawdust clogging up in here and not coming out of the chute, which means you really probably do, on a long log like this, you really do need to go in there and clean it out and get it out of there so that you can not have it get behind. See, what happens is builds up that far that it gets in behind the blade and gets in there and then tips the blade off. That's what I suspect happened in that last one, which will be interesting to hear from some of the guys that have been milling for a fair while. There's a lot of guys are incredibly helpful, incredibly friendly, that they bother to, tell you things, to help you along as you're learning, because it is a steep learning curve. Don't let anybody tell you any different. This unit was chucked in the back of a container and left for 3 years, and the thing itself's in good condition. It's not a bad mill, so it was a real waste for it to be sitting there. But where it was adjusted to, it could never have run at that point. It just would not have worked there. Boy, they flogged those bearings out. They were brand new bearings I put in there. You know, wouldn't have done a couple of hours work, but anyway. But yeah, so that's how it's going at the moment. We can make another couple of adjustments on it, but I think they're pretty good once you get them running, you know, running true to what you want. But if they start tipping the blades off, then all hell breaks loose, and it's a pretty difficult thing to keep trying to get it set right. So yes, I'll have a look at that, and we'll make a little adjustment, and we'll have a go again. But see, on the block for that, it's not very well made, so he's been pulling it that hard that it's sunk in the back here, which means that you're not going to get a really true adjustment all the time while it can compress that block. So realistically, what I'll do is I'll put in a longer bolt and machine up a proper washer that spans right across, that's significantly capable of putting all the load on the outside corners, and that will solve that compression issue. On this side it's not so bad, so that's what we have to deal with in that one there. But anyway, overall I'm really happy. I'm enjoying the doing this, so you know, I'm not whinging and complaining about it. This is a bloody hard material, ironbark. It's not called ironbark for nothing. But it's really interesting to see inside of the logs and see what they look like internally. And it'll be interesting. This is a blade that came with it, and I don't think it's all that terrifically sharp. It was cutting the other material well, but I think it's struggling with this stuff here. So I just missed them on Friday, so I couldn't get my new blade. So I'll be very interested to swap that blade out, put my new blade in, and see what that goes like. This log's ready for rotating, and have a look at it from there. But anyway, I'll show you some more in a while.